Welcome to today's swing trade watch list. Daily and weekly charts, bullish and bear breaks. Brought to you by Premium Alerts at swingtradersetups.com. Big move in the markets today. We're going to get over and take a look at those. Held the 200-day, nice end-of-day rally. Nice strong close. Okay, we had a nice gap up in the market today. Here's our 200-day way down here. We gapped up, really didn't pull back much in the Dow at all. We did have a slight pullback at the open. This is a look at the SPY. You can see that longer wick on the SPY. Opened right on the 200-day and wick down. Came off this long-term weekly support trend line I have drawn on this chart going way back. Pinned it, got back above it, chopped around all day long right here around this 200-day. And the same thing on the SP 500. Our ES minis, this is our interim, this is our short term. It gave the signal at 25.89 late this afternoon. Same time the market picked up on the AD lines for this breakout right before 3 o'clock on the minis, and gave a real nice run there. And this was our little bit longer term alert. Had already set up. When we get the breakout above our line on our stocks, we look for the pullback, revisit, and then we're ready for a long. And that's exactly what the E-minis did here prior to this surge back up here on this bigger time frame. Nice little setup, gave the break. This was a little early alert, halfway between here and here. Nice little surge in the market. The AD lines started out the morning with this huge gap. This is 9:30, and we had this early sell-off, which was more indicated right here on this sell-off between about 9:50 and 10:30. So that was about a 30-minute sell-off. And then we had that nice little run there for about 35 or 40 minutes, and then we just chopped sideways for hours. So we got some nice trades here and here for day trading, but really for swing trading and whatnot, you just had to let all this chop play out. And this was a chop that ran across here on a much shorter term. We were watching the SPY give a little, try to run up or go down. It just kept pounding the 200-day on the SP 500. Kept retesting it, go down below it, come back up. And this was actually was, I guess it was trying to shake everybody out. It was setting up, breaking down through the 200. And we got this little bounce back up through the 200, and the SP 500 gave a surge. These AD lines turned up, and we got a nice surge. I picked right up on that. Said, hey guys, we're breaking out, and this was actually making high day, and it just ran and ran and ran. Caught some really nice trades. A lot of them I put in the room. Others I took. Couldn't take them all, but we saw what we saw, and there was plenty of other things to see as well. This is some morning stuff we saw this morning. It was a nice UNH. I actually threw that in the room. 221.59 broke at 248, right in line with what was going on with the market. And this broke out and gave a nice $3 run. Got a Goldman Sachs here. I actually got this trade as it broke out at 257. 248.11 was that alert. That was about a $2 run. We also caught a nice just a little bounce on AGN because we were watching it for a short right here. It was starting to set up on our chart for the short alert, and then it turned with the market and gave a nice run back up there, about a $2 run. Then we got some Tesla and Nvidia was our biggest trades going into the close there as well, to go along with a few we saw there. Going back over the SP 500, what was going on there? This is late day. This is a late day run right here. It is sold off lost the 200 again. As you can see, this is a 200 day. It just kept chopping all these little run-ups, and this last run down, it hit yesterday's close on the SP 500, came right off of that really fast, and that's when you got that surge in the AD lines we were looking at. It when it came back up through this level, gave the retest to the open price. That was right at 3 o'clock. So that's when this bar here actually closed at 3. So this was right where I've been showing you, that 248 areas, when this closed at 250. So we were getting these breakouts coming up on those alerts. Got this retest, and this retest and hold. There was like, guys, the market's fixing to go up. Get involved here. You got a trend line. If you draw it across here, you break it out. And we got that nice huge rally. And that's when you got to be ready to step in and make your trades. Back on the bigger picture, here's our daily. We closed nicely back above the 200 day. We opened right at the 200 this morning. We talked about this yesterday, that we didn't want to gap down and have to get back through here. We wanted to gap up, so that was great that we did. That's a strong thing for the market. We still got a lot of work to do. If you draw a trend line across the top of these candles, we're not even close to there yet. And that's the next trend line I'll be drawing right here. I'll be drawing that today, getting that on this chart. We've already gave the rundown. We gave the little bounce. We pulled back, retested. So now what we want to happen here is we want to go all the way up back to the 50 day. We may get a pullback there again. When we do that pullback, we want to hold this trend line that was across the tops of these candles back in our past. But right now, this is our next level of resistance. We may go there tomorrow, come back and retest the 200 again. We may just go sideways in this wedge, but these are the levels we'll work ourselves through. Holding the 200 is going to be key every day it comes in play. This is the lower weekly trend line that I drew good ways back, all the way back into last February, I believe it was, February the 12th. So it's been almost a year from this last pullback we had on the 9th. We want to stay above that trend line. Now, I didn't redraw it. I'll still consider that to be our support level. We pinned it today, or this is the weekly bar, but we've pinned it, we've tested it, and we're back above it. This is just our 200 day came back over onto this chart. So we want to stay above that. I still got alerts on it. Every time I touch it, I want to know about it. And that means even out into the future here as we continue to the right hand side. So this is so much not in play anymore. This, I think, can still be considered in play, at least intraday. And this is our next big issue, is this little trend line right here, and staying above the 200. It's our new shorter format video. You don't even need to watch the last 15 minutes. Those are tutorials on the recap sheets and the charts. If you need the tutorial on the charts or about what the graphs mean in the recap with the yellow and red and green lines on the watch list, go over to 9 minutes before the end of this video, and there's a complete tutorial about the recap grids and about the charts. That's the last part of the video. That's where you'll find the subscribe window, and right after that is where the tutorials are. It's the last 9 minutes of the video. If you're already familiar with that, you don't need to watch when you get to that point. And that's where this subscribe screen will appear right before the tutorial. Be sure to watch our new video series, Swing Trading Watch List, Calls in Action, with charts right off our STS Pivot System charting package. Many charts as they progress through the factors, and you'll be able to pick up on some trades many days ahead of what the bull and bear zone breaks show on the swing trade list. You'll see charts like this that triggered a short back on the 19th and gave this retracement alert that we traded today on the 21st with the price to re-enter the trade right on the chart, red zone retracement. You'll find out more about that right after the recap grids. We got a section there we're going to tell you about that. This bull bear list is pretty short. The recap should be more interesting. We only had one daily bull break here, and that's this Visto stock. Broke up through the 50-day. This is definitely not a day trader. Nice breakout there. This stock's definitely breaking out of some consolidation. Definitely has momentum and a nice bullish candle. I would use caution around the 1750 area. You had one weekly bull break, HQY, just back in this zone. This is not a breakout of consolidation. It's just gaining momentum back. It's never really lost it overall on the weekly at all. It's not a bull zone on the daily, although it looks pretty good on my STS pivot system. Very few bear breaks on the daily. These all were red day stocks. This stock's been selling off, nothing new. It's just getting into the bear zone. It's definitely not consolidation. And our weekly bear breaks, we still got some stocks on there. Some of these stocks had red days. Still, even with the rally at the end of the day, and many of them had a green day. They're still in the bear zone on the weekly, but they're evidently oversold, and maybe they can bounce down here. You just got to look at each one on an individual basis and see how they look on the daily and so forth. That is the daily. This is the weekly. And we're going to look at those recaps and see what may be on there from yesterday and the day before. Okay, this is the bear zone, just a recap list. You know, earlier in the week I told you that really don't know what the market's going to do and not to get jumping into anything and so forth. This is your bear zones from yesterday. You remember, there's 150 of them. I'm going to actually sort these for you. You can see how many had a green day. So let's look at them on a what's still a bear. So I'm going to sort them back to the red days. These were stocks that continued down. These are stocks that are still in my bear zone, even though, like here's ALNY, you had these huge days down. It's still down in the bear zone on the daily, well into it. That don't mean it don't bounce tomorrow, but it didn't bounce today. So these are still in the current newly calculated bear zone levels, if they did calculate one. These are still trend stability to the downside, still had a red day, and still got momentum in that area. Now you can see on ALNY that was not a consolidation break when it went into this, it was momentum. But these are still your stocks, and I'm going to sort them again another way for you and get the ones that are still trend momentum there. Go back. Now I'm going to go down and see how many of them you didn't see. The rest of these were red zones. I'm going to pull it on down where you can see it. Over here you can go ahead and you can see all that. No issues there. And I don't think you got let's see if you got anything still. Yeah, you still got some pretty good red zone stocks here. So I'll let you get a good look at all those that are still on the list. It's going back 5 days. They're still having down days, and they're still in my bear zone. These will fall off tomorrow off our recap list, but I'm going to give you the this look as well. You can see, get a pretty good look at that list that way. I'm going to draw this one on down for you. Most of these were green on down, but they're still in the bear zone. They just had a little days, so you can get a look at that whole list. will go back and try to get it in alphabetic look for you as well. And I'll do the same thing back over here. Remember, we're doing this so you can pause the videos and get a good look at what's going on. EFX had a pretty nice day today. A lot of stocks here to look at, a lot of stocks. I'm mainly doing this in case there's something you're particularly interested in that was already on this list. You can have a chance to see where it's at, what it looks like on these color codes. Of course, the bulls will be a short look because there's not going to be many of those yet today. And this market is not just going to rally tomorrow because it had an okay day. It just held at a particularly important area. It did close above it. It did test it multiple times throughout the day. And the computers kicked in there and bought at the end of the day. We could still gap down below the 200 tomorrow. Hopefully not. That's key to feeling like we're out of the woods. We get those bulls pulled up here now. And that's a really short list. Humana had a big gap up yesterday. You know, it sold off about $15 after that gap up. And it just held a little up day today. PVH still very strong. A nice bullish day today. That started out early this morning. That was right on our STS charting package. Put this thing long about 5 minutes into the bell. It was strong all day. And you got a couple of more that's been on here for 4 or 5 days, still grinding up. Airline still grinding up. Had the big down day yesterday. Hit it right back up, right back into the bull zone. Now, this actually been on here 5 days. Yesterday it fell out of the check mark. Now it's back in the check mark. Bounced off the 50-day. So that winds that down. Thanks for watching. See you tomorrow. This video is being brought to you by STS Pivot System Charting Package for day traders, swing traders, and option traders. Easy to follow charts and scanners. Trigger prices right on the charts, on the setups. We teach 2 trades long and 2 trades short. That's all. It's that simple. Just like you see on this chart, the trigger price for this trade was in the corner over here from this point on, with this price posted not to take it up here, and it did not trigger, but it wasn't posted as a trigger anyway. Came back. This is a classic, beautiful setup. Breaks right here. 167.26 was our trigger price. And we developed these same lines where you can overlay them on your shorter term charts. This is a 2-minute. By not taking that trade early when it went up here to 167.11, you avoided this 30-something minute pause here. It's not quite 30, about 15 minutes. This was a 60-something cent pullback by waiting on our trigger price to get in the trade here. And we were predicting that trigger price. This didn't go green until this happened. You have that up arrow where we're showing the price to go long at, and as soon as it triggers, it immediately gives a go short because it's so close to flipping back over. So that's exactly where it occurred, was right here. And that is how simple that package is to use. Trigger prices right on your charts. Got a 7-day free trial offer, 10-day money back guarantee. Once you get this set up, it's $69 a month. And we're extending as a courtesy, if you take this package, full access to the website, including the trade room if you want to come in and out of there as well. It's not part of the charting package, but it's an offer we're letting you come in if you want to. And I mentioned this in a video about a week ago that we were going to do this. Any previous member to Day Trader Setups from day one ever paid $1 to us, this $69 fee is waived, You can come in and try the 7-day trial, no outlay of cash whatsoever. If you decide you want to go with this package, then you can sign up. Be sure to subscribe to our channel while you're here, and follow us on Twitter, and follow us on StockTwitch, and go over to daytradersetups.com, click on Ninja 8 charting, and you can learn more about our STS pivot system charting package. Thanks for watching. This is a tutorial on our recap sheet. What you will see here is this column here is the weekly list. It's at the beginning on the weekly bear and bull breaks, the daily bull breaks and bears, depending on which one we're looking at, and then you will have 5 days following. First day, second, third, fourth, fifth. So what's here today will be here tomorrow. We'll shift over to here, then to here, then to here. So you got 5 days you can go back and look. The price here, you got the bull zone trigger price, 36.80. This is the price of the profit since this alert. This is the net change on the stock for today. So tomorrow, when this shifts over here, this number will be the same. Where we triggered it at, that number will stay in here for 4 days. The profit will be shown based on the current price of the stock in the day compared to this price on the alert. Like for instance on this stock, $3.48 profit from this break based on this close price, up 92 cents today. This number is the profit at the high since we alerted it. It's the most profitable it's been. It got up to $4.27 profit, pulled back, closed at $3.48. As you go on over, like this stock here, SMTC, this was the break. This is the profit so far since the first day, $5.61 4 days later, and at the peak it was $6.31 profit. That's what these columns mean. The next part you'll find is this yellow line. It represents what I'm going to show you over here in just a moment, momentum. It can be on a bull or a bear chart. And then trend stability, if it's green, it represents on the bulls, and the bears will show a red line for trend stability. The last part you'll want to know about, there's these check marks. They represent the bull zone as it progresses higher. Could be the same as yesterday. Down here, this could be the bull zone that's gotten higher and higher and higher as this stock went along, and it means it's still maintaining bull zone levels. Even the new ones, it's staying above them. This is what the bear grid looks like. Looks the very same. Got the weekly, 1 day, 2 day, 3 day, 4 day, 5 day. So you got a chance to see the stability of the trade. You know if it was up or down today after winning a bear zone the day before, the stability, the momentum, and the bear zone level with the check mark. In the video, we will take this page and we will slide these up and down so you have a chance to pause the video and see every single stock that's in the list. Then we'll move it up where you can see these items, and you can pause the video, and then you can see every single symbol in the list. You can go to your charts and look up what's going on. So that's what's in each one of these grids. The current day, day before, day before, day before, day before. So going back 4 days, you got your weekly there. And all this is right here is something I prepare for myself. I take this day, and this day, combine them into this watch list every day, and that's what I carry forward over to my scanners. And just a quick part about what we mean by these levels changing. This is the bull zone level that the check mark represents, the stock staying above. But the bull zone level when this stock broke out was way down here. This was the first breakout, and then as it recalculated our bull zone, that's what the green check mark means, is it's maintaining momentum. The yellow line represents this line that is our minimum momentum indicator used on down or up trades, and then our bull zone levels where it first broke out. And that's all these mean. Trend stability, This is a line we use here, and we come in and we call it trend stability, and that's what this represents here. This line is solid green rather than dotted. It's something we look at on the lows of the day, not being low enough for us not to qualify it for trend stability. So that's all these columns mean. So you'll be able to refer to the strength of the stock that is maintaining high enough lows to stay trend stable, what the profit is if you're staying above the bull zone. That's how you'll use this, and that's your tutorial on the grids. This is a mini tutorial on what the lines mean on my charts if you're a first-time viewer or been a while since you viewed. We're scanning on weekly and daily charts for my condition. When this green line is up, it's my bull zone, and when the red line is up, it's my bear zone. You need to be aware of support and resistance lines and what charts do at levels, and that's what these levels are for. Just quickly as I can do this, and we're going to put a video on YouTube getting more from your swing trading charts that'll be more detailed and look at more stocks, how they react to these lines. But the gist of what you see here is this is what I'm scanning for, and as you can see here, this showed up in the bear zone. It did go down for a few days, but these green lines are support, and that's why it fought for a few days, tried to bounce back up, headed back down again, came right back into the bull zone, a bear zone, excuse me, and continued on down. Now the lines, here's what they represent. A green line is a place that a stock went up to and rejected. So as this green line redrew itself every time we made highs right here, and then it stayed across here for reference points, continues the same line here for reference points. Resistance, when you get above it, becomes support. This green line was drawn way back in the history, and when this stock broke above this resistance level, when it came back down, it held it, it held it, it held it, it tested it and held it again and again. That was support. That's why I want you to be aware of what these lines mean, and you'll see them on my charts. And then the activity that stocks do, sometimes they go, that's my first target, that's my second target. Many times stocks go target 1, pull back a little, target 2, then they may pull all the way back to 1 and go again if they're continuing an uptrend. In this case, it did the pull back. This blue line is a 50-period moving average. This orange line is a 200. So that's what I want you to be aware of as well. And then I have a pivot system that consists of this blue line at the top, yellow line at the bottom, and my target 1 and target 2. You'll see this particular day this stock gapped down, huge gap down, open way down here. The low on this stock was 169.68. I'm getting that right out of this box over here, and the value of that yellow line was 169.67. Within 1 cent it held that line and bounced that day for a huge bounce. It's not a support level, but it's where I look for stocks to try to hold. It's where I look if I'm short, say from here, this is where I'm looking to get out. I'm looking to move 2 levels, target 1, target 2, going up, target 1, target 2. The pink lines all represent places the stock has gone down to and bounced. This pink line is referencing this last pivot low. So as you're selling down into it, it may bounce again. If you get below it, then it becomes resistance. And that's all these lines mean. I just want you to know what they mean going forward. Thanks for watching the video. Let's get started.